Layne and his family were on their way home from a Jehovah's Witness conference in Johnson City and stopped at this rest area on Interstate 81 just north of the Baileyton exit. As fate would have it, another group of travelers stopped at the rest area at the same time. 6 teenagers that wanted to steal a van so they could travel cross-country in comfort and not crowded into a broken-down compact car. It was Natasha Cornett who first broached the subject of stealing the Lily's van.
And I looked over and I seen like a van and there was like nobody around it. And I asked Karen if she wanted to go steal it.
But it was Jason Bryant and Joe Reisner who decided to carry out the theft. Unaware that he was a prospective victim, Vidar Lililid tried to share his fate with a motley band of teenagers. Joe Reisner feigned interest, and the group began laying their trap.
He was like, we want to go over and sit down at the picnic table and talk about it. And I was like, yeah, okay.
They were talking, Joe and Vidar, and about God or whatever. And I was talking to Delphina and Tabitha. And Tabitha gave me and Karen a Hershey's kiss. Natasha rises up and says, I think we should leave. And that's when Joe put down the gun, the 9mm. He says, I'm sorry I have to do this to you, but he said, everyone stay calm, we're just going to take a little ride, no one will get hurt. Walk slowly to the van.
Mr. Lilly got, he was visibly scared. The little boy he didn't even seem to know what was going on. Mrs. Lilly was really shaken. I mean, she was tore up. She started, talking stuff. And the little girl was crying.
In the van, Vidar was ordered to start driving at gunpoint while his wife and children huddled in the back with a gun also pointed at them.
When we get in the van, Delphina said, please don't hurt us. And that's when Jason took out the 25mm, not millimeter, but caliber pistol, and pointed at Tabitha and Delphina. Delphina started singing to calm Tabitha down, and Jason told her to shut up. She had taught Tabitha about guns, and that's why she was so scared. I told her it would be okay, that nobody would hurt her. And I promised I wouldn't let anybody hurt her.
What happened next?
She stopped crying.
The horrifying drive didn't last long. 3 miles down the interstate, Vidar was ordered to take the Baileyton exit, then to turn onto this gravel road, Payne Road.
And Joe told everybody to get out of the van. And Karen said, just let them get their stuff and go.
Mr. Lilly and Mrs. Lilly and the 2 children were standing in a ditch kind of in front of the car.
He was standing beside Delphina, and he didn't have Tabitha in his arms. Tabitha was standing directly in front of him, and he had his arm around her. Tabitha was crying again, and Jason said, make her shut up. And Vidar put his hand over her mouth. Vidar took out his wallet and said, take her money and take the van, just don't hurt us. Jason was asking Joe, what do you think we should do? Do you think we should let him go, or do you think we should kill him? And Joe said, I don't know, man, what do you think that we should do? And he said, I think we should kill him. I remember Natasha, trying to make Jason promise not to hurt the little kids. I started begging Jason not to do it, and he just wouldn't listen. And I knew somebody was going to die, so I walked over in front of the family and I told him that I couldn't stop him from killing someone. So please don't let him hurt the kids. Will you please give me the kids so he won't hurt them? Fedor, tightens his grip on Tabitha. He has one of his hands over her mouth because she was crying really bad. And, he has an arm around Tabitha. And he tightened his grip on him, and after he said, if we let him go, they'll already be dead or something like that. Fedor said, if we die, then the kids will be hurt anyways. And I turned around. I said, please stop this. Next thing I remember, I heard Jason shooting. I remember he had the 25 the first time. And I remember he shot Fedor first.
I heard another shot, and I saw Mrs. Lilith turn to her side, and she fell to the ground.
What did you do?
I jumped into the van, and I closed the door, and I started to cry.
I looked over at the car, and Crystal had her hands on her face, and Dean bowed down his head, and then I looked away. I remember Jason yelling, saying they're still effing alive. He grabbed the 9 out of the floor, and he ran out, and I looked back, and
What'd you see?
Tabitha.
What was she doing?
She was standing over her mother.
What'd Jason do?
I yelled no, and he went right up to her. He went right up to her and shot her. He shot him all over again. When he came back, he was laughing. He said that Delphina was laying there speaking in tongues, and the door was jerking really bad. He said that he had to shoot him all over again.
I sit there for a minute, and I tried to kind of get a grip. And, I pulled the van forward, and I pulled the van forward until I saw this house up there. And I think I said, S-H, there's a effing house up there, or something. And I started to turn the van around, really quickly. I mean, I was, ramming the sides of the ditch and stuff.
I was staring at the steering wheel, and I seen it jerk I seen Joe jerk it to the right, and we ran over something, and I turned around, and I looked in the back window, and we had ran over them. And Jason said, that little girl looks like she just got effed. She's all sprawled out. And he was laughing about it.